As a millennial, you're part of a unique and special generation. You're probably at the exciting stage in life where you're just starting out, or you're beginning that career climb. Undoubtedly, you want to avoid some of the financial pitfalls that have befallen previous generations, but how can you do so? Well guys, in today's video, we will be giving you 10 best financial advices for millennials. Without further ado, let's begin. 1. Identifying short and long-term financial goals. For some individuals, the process of goal setting and then planning for those goals from a financial standpoint may feel like an overwhelming task when viewed on an overall scale. Additionally, for some millennials, shifting their mindset to include long-term financial goals may be challenging, as there are often a number of more immediate needs and goals to juggle for those in this age demographic, including post-secondary education, marriage, home ownership, or starting a family. What's important to recognize, however, is that defining your short and long-term financial goals is a very beneficial starting point to map out concrete plans for reaching those goals. Further to identifying them, there is also a variety of research that indicates those who write down their goals have a better chance of achieving them. 2. Creating a structured savings plan. Regardless of the type or range of goals that you have set and are working towards, it is crucial to understand the value and importance of developing a savings plan. One highly effective approach to consider for savings is determining a specific amount to set aside on a regular basis. This is something that can be achieved through a pre-authorized contribution plan where funds are automatically taken from a paycheck and deposited into an investment vehicle or savings account. In general, a good starting point is to direct 3 to 10% of your paycheck to a savings program. As your paycheck increases over time, it is also important to revisit the amount or percentage that goes into the account and modify it as appropriate. 3. Building a spending plan and adhering to it. Further to establishing and using a budget, which itself should be a component in your overall plan, is the importance of developing a realistic spending plan. In today's day and age, there are a range of online programs and apps to use for budgeting purposes. And while they may be useful and convenient in some regards, the shortfall is that these types of tools cannot make the spending decision for you. Instead, they function more as a tracking method. This is where the value of a defined spending plan comes into play, as it provides a method for self-checks prior to making purchases or other spending decisions. Spending plans are most effective when they are created in alignment with the identified short and long-term goals and accurately reflects what amounts individuals are able to work with. 4. Understanding various forms of debt, as well as considerations for paying down debt versus investing. This is a topic many individuals struggle with, as common thinking is that paying off debt should always be the priority. The main point to recognize, however, is that not all debt is created equal, so individuals need to know what types of debt they have, and then look at the interest rates on that debt in comparison to the rate of return of investments. Credit cards typically have a very high interest rate, and are an example of debt to pay down first, as the interest is non-deductible. On the other hand, some debt has interest that is deductible from tax purposes, such as certain types of student loans, and it may be considered debt to defer paying down. 5. Developing a basic knowledge of investing options. This strategy closely ties back to the creation of a savings plan, as individuals need to be aware of the different types of plans and accounts that exist and the potential benefit of each depending on one's circumstances and goals. In regards to registered accounts, two main options to examine are tax-free savings accounts, TFSAs, and registered retirement savings plans, RRSPs. Specifically, TFSAs offer flexibility, and one of the key features is the tax-free growth. TFSAs can be opened by any individual with a social insurance number who is at least 18 years of age. Individuals can contribute up to their contribution room and carry forward any unused contribution room. An individual who was 18 years of age as of 2009 and has never contributed to TFSA would have contribution room of $52,000 as of 2017. 6. Prioritizing overall financial literacy. When it comes to financial planning, there is great value in building and improving overall knowledge about financial topics, as research indicates there is a direct connection between high levels of financial literacy and confidence in financial decision-making. With this in mind, it is important for millennials, along with their parents or family members, to make financial learning and literacy a priority. For some, this education may come from formal programs or online research and resources. A useful tool to consider in this regard is the Canadian Financial Literacy Database, which helps individuals search for information, tools, and events on a wide variety of financial topics from a range of Canadian organizations. 7. Reduce discretionary spending. Millennials who have just started their career or have recently become financially independent must avoid non-essential expenses to begin saving. It is important to categorize spending between essential and non-essential. If left uncontrolled, these expenses can easily wipe off one's income and may not leave any scope of funds being available for future use. 8. Avoid unnecessary debt. Since credit facilities are easily available and accessible, many young adults tend to incline towards these to meet their lifestyle requirements. However, this can result in a debt trap and a bad credit score before one realizes it. While walking the path of saving money for the future or for uncertain times, it is best to avoid unnecessary debt like unsecured personal loans or credit card loans. Instead, you must plan your requirements for debt by considering factors like the purpose of the debt, repayment planning, availability of funds for repayment, etc. 9. Set up an emergency fund. Goals such as owning a new car, saving for a wedding or home renovation, require the availability of sufficient funds. The goal can also motivate you to save better. However, what is often overlooked with regards to savings is the necessity of an emergency fund. It is always a good idea to save for contingencies or emergencies, such as medical needs. Even if the emergency fund doesn't get utilized for an emergency, it will motivate you to keep aside some portion of the available funds that may prove helpful in the future. 10. Get familiar to mutual funds. Millennials who have not yet started investing often lack the right knowledge to begin their investment journey. Saving money to achieve long-term goals is possible through investments in systematic investment plans, SIPs. Irrespective of your income levels, you should aim to keep aside at least 15 to 20% of the same for mutual fund investments, as these can yield positive returns depending on the funds chosen and the investment pattern followed. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.